Basically, the cubs that you saw, all of them died at the turn of the century. The first lot were in Ranthambore, and the mother was poisoned, and the cubs couldn't survive without the mother. And the second lot was in Panna, taken by Raghu Chundawat. It was probably the youngest cubs ever filmed in the wild from a long distance, and they were in a cave. And she got poached, and the cubs died because the mother wasn't there to take care of them. And these were the problems at the turn of the century that we faced pretty much all over India. The horrors of poaching, the lack of governance, the completely defunct systems that we have of governance in this country all took the toll on the tiger like I don't think we'll ever recover from. We live in a different era now than what we were trying to do then. This was a lovely, remarkable picture of a crocodile with a little sambar deer. I thought it would be the most unique. I didn't realize that the tiger would reveal other things, and when my nephew was there once, he had the most incredible luck, and from behind a bush he took this sequence of what a tiger and a crocodile were doing together in terms of a fight. And I think it remains in the annals of the tiger's natural history still one of the most unique sequences. These are the little secrets of a forest that we live for and die for. I mean, to see these things, to see any of these things are once in a lifetime happenings, and they make your life. For me, they made my life. They're much more important than anything else to suddenly come across something which is really unique. And Ranthambore, with its memories of man, and you can see the Chhatri and the tiger, one of my favorite pictures because it says it all. How the tiger has taken over these structures that man made over hundreds of years. And this is a little showcase section of pictures that are from different places. This particular tiger is from Bandhavgarh, taken by a lady called Kim Sullivan, who was very kind enough to lend me all the pictures she's taken after 15-20 trips to Bandhavgarh. So they are part of this book. The one previous to that is of my nephew Jaisal Singh. There are lovely pictures from Bittu Sanctuary Photo Library. Here's a tiger chasing a spotted deer. This we'll play later. This is a tigers in trees, very difficult to get. Nice tree also. Chasing a wild boar, supposed to be their favorite prey. Lot was written in past literature, so the book is full of wild boar and tiger encounters from the 18th, 19th and 20th centuries. These pictures of the wild boar being attacked. This is from Taroba. Previous one was also Taroba. Amazing sequence of pictures, because you can see from the tusk of the wild boar how easy it is for the tiger to get injured. Look at this one, when the tiger jumps onto the middle of the road and the spotted deer are not even looking at the tiger. They're so surprised they're trying to find out what happened. These are lovely little ways to find out how predator and prey live, how difficult it is, the survival. It's not that easy for the tiger also. And if you can see between the paws of the tiger is a soft-shelled turtle. My idea in this book was to give you an incredible large diverse diet of the tiger. So under one roof you have the best tiger pictures, and if somebody wants to know what the tiger eats, a child wants to know, it's all there visually, and there's a little narrative which either comes from the past or the present. Look at this, you know, two tigers watching a bear, the bear watching a tiger. They normally keep away from each other, but we have known many times bears chasing away tigers and tigers killing bears and eating them. And this has been seen. These are again, that previous picture was from Taroba, this is from Ranthambore, a remarkable picture by Aditya Dicky Singh. And if you see on the sides, at the back of the bear, there are two little cubs. You'll see a little strange shape. They're cubs hugging onto the mother's coat. She was carrying two cubs. Two tigers were mating. They confronted her, but she chased both the tigers away. They're both adult animals, because the mother is ferocious in terms of how she looks after her cubs. And the cubs remain clinging on her back throughout this. And Aditya Dicky Singh's narrative is remarkable, unique, and will remain so in the annals of the tiger's natural history. That is what the purpose of the book is, to record till 2013, and then you'll get more and more stuff coming out. But till now, what I consider are the best narratives and visuals that exist on the tiger. And then again from Taroba, tiger giving chase to Gaur, which is not easy to see. We recently have on YouTube a big sequence of a tiger killing a Gaur. It's amazing to view. But these are rare, unique happenings that take place in a forest. tiger looking at wild dog. So there are lots of old narratives of tiger wild dog encounters, and tigers try to keep away. Wild dogs, if they have a large enough pack, will try to chase a young tiger. They normally tree leopards. Here's a tiger carrying, again from Taroba, carrying a wild dog away after having killed it. Unique picture. Tiger carrying porcupine away. It's really regarded as a delicacy, and the old narratives talk about this. Not an easy one, as you will see. So this is by Satyendra Tiwari in Bandhavgarh, a picture he took of it carrying it away, and then I got one of it feeding on a porcupine from Kim Sullivan. And these are rare, unique pictures. So they really enjoy the meat, and they get their quills stuck in their mouth. And they find if they're siblings, and normally quite a lot of 18 to 22-month-old siblings play around with porcupines, they'll try and pluck the quills out from each other, try to get it out. When they can't, they can have problems. But they generally, 90% of the time, manage to get the quills out. Isn't that amazing? Two cubs from Sanctuary's photo library playing with a python, chewing the edges of it. And when there is time and they can't find anything else, they get a python, they'll eat it because there's quite a lot of good meat on it. Pangolins. I haven't seen one in my life, let alone seeing a tiger eat one. But look at the picture from a young photographer. Taroba gave some of these pictures of pangolins and tigers. I think they're amazing. 6 tigers together, difficult things to see. A mother with 5 cubs, but then this happened in Taroba, and then you have tigers banging down and bringing down a sambar. One more film clip to give you an idea of the old times in Ranthambore, if he gets it right, and we can play it, which old days in Ranthambore, and this is Genghis charging into the water, and it's one of my old favorites because you could follow and get into the mind of this tiger and know what he was going to do the next minute, which was amazing. And he was very active around the lakes of Ranthambore for one season, after which he disappeared. Flehmen, when a tiger smells another tiger's scent. Lots of cubs playing in Bandhavgarh, some remarkable pictures. And then there were all the tigerwalas, people I've known, people I've respected. All of them lived and served the tiger throughout their life. I don't know what would have happened to the world of tigers today for our younger generation without all these people doing what they did. Billy Arjun Singh, amazing guy, absolutely amazing. And it was a privilege to have known him, a privilege to have met him, a privilege to have gone to Dudhwa and spent time with him. Kailash Sankla in the government, but really by the end of it, he served tigers, not his government. First for him came the tiger. Fateh Singh, of course, tiger guru, tiger man par excellence. He talked to his tigers, he sang to his tigers, he just loved them and lived for them. And these tigerwalas and their work minimized the damage, but damage there was going to be because there was a crisis of the tiger which boomeranged in the 1990s, which went into the present century. It concerned the demand on bone, the demand on skin, the demands from Tibet and China at a particular moment of time. And we furiously tried as the non-governmental community to deal with this, sometimes but very seldom successfully. Most of the time all of us failed because the problem was much bigger than we thought and overwhelmed us, and governments didn't respond because their delivery systems to respond were poor and inadequate, which is our problem. We didn't change our delivery systems. What the tiger needs are fresh delivery systems so that you can understand its needs and provide it the relief when it needs its relief. Otherwise you end up watching these skin hauls that take place. I was in Ghaziabad when this happened, and I'm afraid it was the most horrible morning at the turn of the century. Now we have camera traps that estimate tigers more accurately thanks to Dr. Ulas Karanth and his pioneering work in science right across India. But these are lovely pictures that you find which are taken by the camera itself. I don't know what happened after this second, whether the tiger killed this sambar or didn't, but this was flashed in the middle of the night by the camera, and we don't know what happened to the sambar. We also have this one, Another tiger watching a porcupine, not attacking it, just like that person drew in his lithograph 150 years ago. They have to be very careful to get the porcupine in the right way. But these were taken again by camera traps at night. And there's a world of information in these little devices that lie in the forest. There have been man-animal conflicts, and here a tiger is just about tearing down a range forest officer at that time, Daulat Singh in Ranthambore. They were out to tranquilize it because it was near a village, and he lost his eye because of this. And there are man-animal conflicts which are increasing. Tigers are tranquilized, brought in trucks, released back in forest. God knows, there are 100 things going on in man management. Some I approve, some I don't. Too many tigers with collars on them, too much movement of one animal from one park to another park. We deal with life of the tiger like it's a fashion. Now park directors will say, okay, tranquilize this, take it here, take this here, not understanding that you're upsetting a family, you're upsetting kinlings, you're moving around things, you're divorcing a member of a family from another at your whim and fancy. So I look at the era that has unfolded at this moment of time with many, many question marks. But this is just a closing still picture about the tiger and the freedom of the tiger. This one luckily was let loose again near Nagpur somewhere from a truck to go back to its forest. And I have a last clip just to show you what tigers do. Last film clip, please.
This great hunter only succeeds 1 out of every 10 hunts. Her long canines usually sever the victim's spinal cord. Death is swift, less than a minute.
And it's about freedom, life and death. That's how tigers live.
This meal will fuel her for a week.
And their life intact, if they're going to live freely without us intruding and using our brain on them. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's about the book. The book houses all this. We are open to questions which Bittu Sehgal will look after.
Valmik in his introduction writes, there's no time to be lost. Every one of us needs to help. And this is why I am hoping that this book will engage you, beguile you, and inspire you to join the fight to ensure the survival of the tiger. My question to you, Valu, is that suppose everybody in this room decided they're going to stop doing everything that they ever did, and they decided that they're going to save the tiger. How could that be done with the system we have in place today? I think it works.
I don't know, when I started doing tiger fire, and everyone calls me, this tiger man, tiger this, tiger expert, and none of those things. I'm just a normal human being who's been very privileged to see a secret life of an animal like the tiger unfold in front of me. And that privilege, I will never forget. But while I did tiger fire, I learnt about my country in terms of reading these narratives from the Mughal period to the British period, what systems were developed and for what. If I look back today, Bittu and I at some point spent 20 years serving I don't know how many governments and their committees. As far as I'm concerned, I can rationalize that and say we minimize damage. But if you ask me honestly, it's a total waste of time. It's a complete failure. I mean, we spent years of our life serving the whims of people who were completely ignorant, the ministers in charge, the bureaucrats in charge. And I started to examine this while doing the research for Tiger Fire. Why? And I believe somewhere that when the British left India, we inherited from them the most exploitative systems of governance in every sphere. So I've gone into every sphere, not even tigers. I've gone into health, education, the whole works, trying to understand what happened. But as far as forests are concerned, we had a British Forest Service, the Indian Forest Service. We never changed it enough. We let it remain exploitative. We let it remain a policing service, which wasn't enough because we were now our own country. We didn't need to plunder our wood to feed our naval fleets or to take the treasures back home to strengthen our economy. We required to make our own type of service, both for the forests and for wildlife. We required at that time to put our thinking caps on. So this inherited system of the Indian Forest Service has just traveled on for 64 years. Basically, it is not possible that it can deliver what the tiger needs. So I'm afraid the first job is a really tough job as far as I'm concerned, and therefore I don't talk about it much because it's too idealistic. It's not going to happen. But anything can happen. I mean, can you imagine Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi managing to really near a majority in 1 year? Who would have believed that? Not a pessimist like myself, to come so close. So I believe our job is to change the delivery system.